cave dweller and self-isolating spectacular, lived in a cave and came up with the theorem that the square of the hypotenuse on the right angle triangle is equal in area to the sum of the squares on the other two sides. Lived in a cave, taught in a cave, started a cult. It's not a bad idea. Once this is all over, might find myself a cave. Give myself some followers.
Welcome to the first Cyberfest, which is Beer 52's online beer festival. Thanks for buying the boxes, thanks for supporting the festival. These are incredibly weird and difficult times for so many different people, particularly in the beer world. And for you guys and girls to be supporting the beer industry like this and craft beer is amazing. So Charlie and me first met each other in around November 2013. We were introduced by a mutual friend and got together to do a homebrew in his backyard. Charlie at the time was doing homebrew classes out of his kitchen and working part-time for 5 Points Brewery, who've remained great friends with us to this day. So that beer was Southpaw. That was the first time we made a recipe ourselves together, and it took us until about February to shake hands, decide to go at this thing together. And we then spent the next 4 or 5 months building out the brewery, bringing in Simon, who was our head brewer, and is still with us today. And it was not until July that year that we actually opened our doors, made our first beer, and started selling casks to the public. So cask beer for us was something that we started out with really strongly. The local pub network supported us so much, and it was a fantastic beginning. And then about 18 months, 2 years after that, we'd moved in so that cask was about 30% of what we did, and everything else had begun to be kegs and bottles. Mainly kegs, just a little bit of bottles. But everything changed and we upgraded our bottling machine to something that didn't keep us at the brewery all night and that went a little bit quicker. That was when we were able to meaningfully get bottles out to bottle shops and different customers, restaurant groups, that kind of thing, and just scale up that small pack production a little bit. It was a really exciting time. But then eventually, even that bottling line became too small for us, and we faced a question of how are we going to grow from here? Oddly, what the solution from our bottling company was, we'll just get another bottling machine, put it right next door, and then you can go twice as fast. And it's not a terrible idea, but we decided that this was the time when we would double down and move into cans. It was late 2018, right? Or 17? I can't remember these days. I'm pretty sure it was 18. No, 17. 2017. End of 2017 is when we sold our old bottling machine, which is still in South London, making bottles for another brewery that's just up the road from us, and we brought in our canning line. So at the end of the day, what makes Gipsy Hill really special for me, for Charlie, for the whole team here is that team itself. Running a small business and stitching together a small team has been the most amazing challenge that I could have hoped for, I guess. Every day you're reminded about the efforts that everyone's making, and the commonality of the goal is such a wonderful thing. We're all focused on making the best beer we can. We're all focused on making sure the beers we make tomorrow are better than the ones we've made today. And having and seeing that happen in every different area, from sales to logistics to the production department, who are working so hard to bring all those beers to you guys, is the thing that gives me the most satisfaction, I guess, as one of the co-founders of this business. So that's exciting, and almost more exciting than just that is where it's going to take us, because with that safely created and nurtured, I think we can go on to do even more amazing things that'll be just fantastic. All right, so who's ready to try some beers? Should we get stuck in? This is Thumper. Thumper is a chocolate milk stout, session stout really, 3.9%. The artwork is done by David Biscup, beg your pardon. He's our featured illustrator as part of the Illustrator Takeover series that we've done for this round. It's a collaboration with the CBGB group. CBGB stands for Craft Beer and Good Banter. It's a meetup group, one of the largest ones in London, that goes around to different craft beer venues, craft beer pubs, breweries, tap rooms, whatever it might be. They get together, they drink craft beer, and apparently their banter is good. I remain to pass judgment, but I look forward to joining them for a beer when the lockdown crisis is all over. This is a chocolate milk stout it's got lactose in it, and it has been conditioned on cacao nibs pretty extensively to give it a real sense of chocolate, a real sense of milkiness, and then it's got those chocolatey, stouty, rich flavours that run through it, although it is 3.9% beer, so also super sessionable. You can smell some of the chocolate coming off the nose right when you're pouring it out. It's pretty clear, it is dark, it's got a dark head too for 3.9% beer. And it's really got a lovely, just gently chocolatey, rich nose on it. So the cacao nibs were mixed in with the beer for about 10 days. We recirculate the beer through the tank, through the cacao nibs, just to really make sure we're extracting all of the flavour that we can from them, up until a point where we stop, because you also don't want to over-extract any flavours from these kind of adjuncts that you use in these kind of beers. Oh yeah, I think this is it's a great beer. If you feel like a chocolate milk style beer, this is perfect, because it is sessionable, low ABV, but it's got all that thickness and that richness. It does have that slight hint of lactose that runs through the back of it, but that's nicely offset both by some of the bitterness that comes out of those dark chocolate malts, as well as the sort of sweet chocolate flavours that are coming out of the cacao nibs. Cheers.
Everybody's favourite subject, homeschooling and normal schooling alike, let's face it. So, the question was, which cave-dwelling ancient Greek self-isolationist came up with the theorem that the square of the hypotenuse of the right angle triangle is equal in area to the sum of the squares on the other two sides? Yes, that's right, it's your pal and mine, Pythagoras. It's Pythagoras' theorem. Excellent.
That's right. This month, Beer 52 and Ferment are taking you on an adventure to the Commonwealth of Virginia to meet, frankly, some of the best breweries we've ever had in the box, along with fantastic restaurants, wineries, distilleries, vineyards. It's going to be awesome.
From Virginia Beer Co., we've got Flavours, an unfiltered tropical IPA bursting with copious amounts of Azacca and Chinook hops. For those of you on the mixed plan, you'll get to enjoy Elbow Patches, their smooth and velvety 6.2% oatmeal stout, as well as Otis Dry Irish Stout from O'Connor Brewing. Look out for the beautifully balanced Belgian-style blonde ale from Hardywood and a hop-forward Essential Pale Ale from Port City, with hop aromas of peach, grapefruit and apricot.
You can read about all of these breweries and much more in this month's issue of Ferment, which, as always, includes writing from some of the industry's very best beer writers. Cheers!